Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 80 of Red Shoe Diaries. It's October 21st, 2015, and I am in Fairmount Park, Philadelphia. It's a gorgeous afternoon, about 70 degrees, maybe 75, somewhere in there. And it's been pretty cold the past few days, and as you can see, as I highlighted in my last episode as well as now, these beautiful colors that are coming out as a result of death. The leaves are dying, the trees are going into a dormant mode, and the leaves lose their chlorophyll, and all these colors come out. So what is going to be focused on in today's episode, and why I feel this exuberance is so exciting to me, is I'm a Scorpio. And one of the first things I tend to tell people, and that they a lot associate with Scorpios, is our intensity. They say, you know, a Scorpio, I'm like, are they intense? And they're like, yes, we are intense. We feel things viscerally and oftentimes passionately. We rule the reproductive organs, meaning that's an area that can affect us strongly, and we are affected by it. It affects us. Same with cancers. Cancers are the digestive system in the stomach, and they're known for worriers. So certain parts of the body are even correlated with different zodiac signs. And I actually plan to read about the Scorpio according to this one calendar. I'll get into that next time because I forgot it today. But it even spoke about the evolutionary process of different signs. And I will say that oftentimes when people tell me about a sign or I discuss it, there are the unevolved and the evolved aspects of these signs, and even factoring in your moon and ascendant. So with Scorpio, in case you know someone, or if you're a Scorpio yourself, the totems associated with it are the scorpion as well as the snake. And then the evolutionary process is to, as you mature, the animal associated with the Scorpio is the eagle. And then Phoenix, which I honestly did not know that, and I just thought it was like, yes. But it makes sense, of course, because Phoenix rises from its own ashes, and it's a spiritual rebirth out of physical form and back into physical form and out of physical form and back into physical form. You get it? The cycles. That's a big part of why the snake represents Scorpio too. And so why Scorpio is a sign this time of year specifically, say, you know, I'm out in a t-shirt, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, October 21st. In another month, it's going to be a whole different story. November 21st is going to most likely be pretty damn cold, and just about all of these leaves will have fallen. It's a very it's a time when things drastically change. It's a marked difference between, like I said, October 21st to November 21st. And many people, especially in our Western civilization, tend to not want to talk about the darker side of things, the tougher side, the more painful or challenging sides, or things like death or uncertainty or the unknown. Whereas honestly, things that are hidden, the occult, that's Scorpio territory, and that's one of the gifts that is oftentimes associated with Scorpios. When they are more evolved, they're able to have a foot here in the earthly, pragmatic plane, but also another foot in the spiritual, unknown, unseen forces of nature and of life. So I'm going to read from Kenneth Meadows' Earth Medicine book about this time of year that we're transitioning into from the Native Americans' perspective. The snake represents this time of year between, okay, here it says starting October 23rd through November 22nd. The earth influence is the frost time. And it's funny because, by the way, we just had frost just the other day, and I thought, oh yeah, this is a little early, but the frost time is upon us. So yeah, I think I got as low as 35 the other night. It's crazy, but very cool. So, again, so exciting to me because that difference is just they're all cycles, circles, cycles. Anyway, people born in the frost time abound with ideas and enthusiasm, but when they allow their energies to run away with them uncontrolled, they often find their schemes frozen to a standstill by the frosty reception of the outside world. They need to apply the warmth of emotion to cold intellect to keep such energies flowing. Conversely, they need also to learn that it is sometimes wiser to put an idea into deep freeze until the climate is right. Learning the art of timing is one of the greatest lessons of experience to be learned by people born in this time. For although they have sound ideas and good intentions, they all too often find frustration because they have launched out at an inappropriate time. Their impatience in running ahead of themselves is perhaps their greatest handicap. And I agree. That has been quite a challenge for me over the years. So, okay, the solar influences. Those born at this time are associated with the setting sun. It's not actually sunset right now. It's only like 1 in the afternoon, but many times, you know, I've filmed while the sun is setting because I love it so much. Ha! Interesting. Sorry. I haven't read this in a minute. Those born at this time are associated with the setting sun and with the season of autumn and with the years of maturity in human life. They are aligned with the powers of twilight, which change the face of the earth and motivate them towards the freedom of idealism. They have an inquisitiveness of spirit that drives them on to uncover purpose in existence, and this quest to discover the mysteries of life is true maturity. Nature at this time of the year helps us to understand the principle of transformation and regeneration, which has such a strong influence on people, on those born at this time. For although autumn is the season of defoliation when the trees become barren, the fallen leaves which have been discarded will decompose to provide nutrients for the earth beneath and nourishment for the future development of the trees from which they came. Frost is a reminder of the death which winter represents. It changes to water when warmed, but is renewed overnight. A pivotal point of the entire yearly cycle is located in this period. Anciently, it was recognized as a time when the year ended and a new yearly cycle began. This twilight period had significance in another way among ancient peoples, for it was seen too as the space between two realms, between the visible world of physical manifestation and the unseen realm of the spirit. It was celebrated as a festival among pagan peoples on the eve of November 1st. The ancient Celts called it Samhain, which means summer's end, but the celebrations continued merrily throughout the first week of November. Blazing ritual bonfires symbolized the burning of all the worries and problems accrued during the past year, and these were the true origin of Bonfire Night in Britain on November 5th, and had far greater significance than the memorial of Guy Fawkes's plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Pause. Because, yeah, I just saw that movie V for Vendetta, which talks about, which is, you know, has to do with the Guy Fawkes's day and the blowing up the Houses of Parliament and, say, revolting against a certain system that is more tyrannical. It's just deep. It's just really fascinating because one of my best friends showed me that movie, and it really, you know, made a big impression on me. A little more violent than I like, but it was done in such a way where I got the point. It was, yeah, it was really good. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Back to this. It was a time for getting rid of weaknesses and the things which had served their purpose but were no longer relevant, of shedding what had gone before so that renewal became possible and effective. The fires were also used to cook the meat of animals which could not be kept over winter. The result of the year's work was seen. Just as twilight is an in-between period separating daytime from night, and autumn comes in between summer and winter, so Samhain was looked upon as a time when the visible and invisible realms overlapped. So it was a time to remember those who had died and had departed the earth life, and when the movement of the earth tides had brought the physical and the spiritual closer together, and when this closeness to departed loved ones could be more keenly felt. The Christian Church attempted to kill off the old festival by making November 1st All Saints' Day, Samhain Eve on October 31st becoming All Souls' Day, All Hallows' Eve or Halloween. The original festival was denigrated by associating it with demons and witches and ghosts and goblins. In modern times, Halloween has become popularized, particularly in the United States, as a time for rather weird fun, for dressing up in costumes and masks, and of pumpkin and turnip lanterns, and on occasion for trick-or-treat, suggesting the trickiness of little demons and the need to placate them, all of which is a distortion of the true significance of this ancient festival. The related sign in sun astrology for those born in this time is Scorpio. Alright, so yeah, this talks more about things related, I think, to people at this time. But one, yeah, I won't get into the things that are more for people who are born at this time. I'm telling you that this book, I feel like it offers wisdom regardless. But I'm going to just stop there, let some of those things sink in. I will read a bit from that planner that I meant to bring today that had some information related to Scorpios, because I found it pretty fascinating, and I think others will too. Again, whether you are a Scorpio, know someone, it doesn't even matter, honestly. These are just parts of the human journey that I believe are vital to one's being, because the more you contemplate your mortality, the more you know which parts of you are immortal. And embracing those two, the yin and the yang, you allow yourself as well as those around you and life itself to be more whole. So it's time for me to study. As you can see, I have my little area here. Oh, this is one of the best offices and areas for me to feel inspired and focused and at one with all. Look at those leaves. I wish I could showcase better here. Look at that. Amazing. Thank you for watching and listening. I love you. May you have a wonderful time exploring for yourself.